Hey everyone, ahlan wa sahlan fikum. Welcome back to another video. This time we're going to talk about more learning resources. In particular, I'm going to talk about one that I'm really excited to show you because it's a way to basically get infinite annotated transcripts. So you guys have been really enthusiastic about those annotated transcripts that I've been making, but of course it's pretty time consuming for me to make, so I can't just make tons of them. However, there's actually a website where you can get tons and tons and tons of them for free, and they're based off of YouTube videos. So it's also kind of a database that links to a bunch of YouTube videos in Arabic. So that's really, really fantastic. I'm going to show you right now. It's a website that's called Playling, as you can see right here. And pretty much, I mean, it's a little bit self-explanatory when you look at it. This is the home page. As you can see, there's already, just a bunch of videos. These are all from YouTube that have been sort of collected on here. And you can see the length. And in addition to that, you can see that there's two particular attributes which are really important that are labeled in each video, which are what dialect it's in and then what level it's in. So of course, and you can also filter. So in the dialects, you have Egyptian, Levantine, Gulf, Maghrebi, Fusha, and then you also have this educated spoken Arabic, which is basically like formal Ammiya. So it's not Fusha, but it's still sort of formal and kind of more complex because the vocabulary is just more advanced. But in a way, it's just like Levantine or any dialect, but advanced level in a way. But let's just click Levantine for now, just to see how it works. And let's say we are beginners. Yeah. So the thing is, as well, that among all these videos, you have two sort of general types. You have videos that are actually created for learners specifically, so it's clearly like for a learning audience. And then you also have videos, since this is all from YouTube, you also have a lot of videos that are just random YouTube videos in Arabic by like Arabic YouTubers and so on. I don't really think, I mean, a lot of it, especially for Levantine, is going to show like Syrian and Lebanese kind of content, but that's actually perfectly fine. I mean, especially because it just gives you kind of a broader range. So, yeah, so those are the two sort of general types that you'll find. If you do check, say, novice, you'll find a lot of mostly the really sort of learner oriented content, which is fine for many people. But if you want more sort of spontaneous type of content and speech, you want to click at least beginner or intermediate. In fact, I do like the fact that even the sort of learner oriented videos that I have seen are pretty, they feel natural. They don't feel so robotic like sometimes textbooks can be. So I'm going to demonstrate that with a particular video. See, this guy Ziad has a couple of videos that are learner oriented, but they still sound like they're still useful actually because he speaks pretty naturally. So let's actually just click on one of these. You can see the videos are super varied and lots of different things. So yeah, so let's click on this. So once you click on that, it'll take you to the video page. And there's a couple things to know. As I indicated before, you can see the title, what dialect it's in, the level. There's also a little description sometimes. This one doesn't have much. Sometimes it says more. Sometimes it says something about who made the video because it's not like one person. It's actually a bunch of people who contribute to this website. I'm not sure how they do it, but yeah. So sometimes the description will say something like, "Thank you to Professor so and so who contributed this transcript," or "Thank you to the Redditors who created this," whatever. So yeah, and as you can see already, you have the option to, before you even watch the video, you can just download the transcript. It also says here, download full text, and the difference is actually the following. So the transcript, it's going to show you this, which looks great. This is just the video or the transcript in Arabic. And if you click download full text, it will actually give you the following, which is the Arabic with the English descriptions or translations. So it's basically, I mean, it looks pretty much like the annotated transcripts that I make, and you can get these for literally every single video that is on here, which is really, really fantastic. I just want to flag one thing, I guess, like that I should note, like how do my transcripts differ from these? Certainly not, neither is better than the other. This definitely benefits from a certain extra simplicity, I guess. But I should just say that for one, the Arabic, first of all, there's no particular standard or style of writing. In mine, I try to be super consistent just for the sake of clarity. Now, in a way, it's good that because it's a lot of different people contributing, you have different types of spellings and things like that, because after all, that is what you're going to encounter in the real world. So that's actually not a bad thing. But with regards to like short vowels and, my transcripts, I mark all of that. And I also mark like, active and passive participles and all these things. This doesn't have that, but I still think it's really, really useful. So maybe you can just use mine for like maybe more focused practice or something like that. But I mean, I'm just kind of just pointing that out. You could probably tell by yourself that for the most part, there's no short vowels or anything like that. As for the English, it's not always super literal. Again, in my transcripts, I try to make them just really, really literal while also making sense. But like I try to make it literal so that if there's a strange kind of looking phrase in Arabic, you can see what that really is supposed to mean in English. Sometimes what these transcripts do is like it's kind of hard to translate the phrase, so they just kind of don't translate it or translate it in a way that is not actually not it's not incorrect, but it's just like doesn't illuminate exactly what the phrase means. So anyway, I'm just kind of pointing that out. But otherwise, like it's really a fantastic resource either way. So yeah. Anyway, so now let's see what actually happens if I click on the video, because they have basically a dedicated video player, which is, as you can see right here. As you can see, it's from YouTube. So if I just click that, it's going to take me to YouTube, and you can just watch it yourself. I guess it's on the Play Link channel, this one, but a lot of them will just take you to random YouTube channels. Now, I have actually tried to record this video a couple of times, and I found that the Play player is a little bit buggy. I'm not sure if it was my browser or why, but there were a couple of weird kind of moments, so I just stopped the recording and started again. But I mean, anyway, so let's just actually see what happens, and you can see for yourself how it works. Let's just click play.
مرحبا.
And well, let's watch the video fully first, and then I'll explain how the different features can be used, because they're actually really useful.
أنا زياد. أنا شاب عمري 23 سنة، ولدت بسوريا وعشت فيها لمدة 4 سنوات. بعدين رحت على السعودية مع أهلي وعشت فيها لمدة طويلة. بصراحة درست فيها جميع مراحل الدراسية. بعدين رحت على تركيا. جيت على تركيا من حوالي 3 سنوات. أنا حاليا بتركيا. حاليا أنا بدرس بأنقرة، بدرس هندسة كيميائية بسنتي الثالثة، وإن شاء الله السنة الجاية بتخرج.
Okay, so yeah, that was the video, and it's gonna loop. Yeah, so the first thing I'll note is that you can see down here it says 1 out of 7. So the video is, and every video I believe, is split into little sections, basically just so that you can focus on particular parts of the text. So if you go to the transcripts, either of them, you'll see it's actually divided in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's based on these sections. And if you hover down here, you can see where they sort of break down, how they break down. So and you can also change the video speed, but I mean, you can do that on YouTube. So yeah, so that's what the sections represent. And there's also this replay button, which is where the site got a bit buggy for me and it kind of crashed. So just letting you know. But theoretically, what this should do is if you let's try and see what happens.
أنا زياد. أنا شاب عمري 23 سنة، ولدت بسوريا وعشت فيها لمدة 4 سنوات. بعد ولدت بسوريا وعشت.
Yeah, so what you just saw is that it loops not the video but the section. So if there's a section that you're trying to really focus on and listen to what he's saying, you can use that loop button and it will just repeat that particular section. And you can also slow it down, so you can really focus on what you want to get out of the video. I think what also made it buggy was trying to use the arrows to move back and forth, like the same way that you would on YouTube, just scroll within the video. It didn't like when I did that, so just saying. But otherwise, I mean, it's a really well-made tool. Now, aside from that, actually, I'm about to show you the most powerful part of this tool, which is the following. Take a look at this. So I can do the following. I can turn on the subtitles. So now you have the transcript, but you actually have it as the subtitles of the video. believe it or not, this is actually a really amazing and rare and fantastic tool, because on YouTube, you're not going to get that. If you, well, this is their video, so it might actually have
وعشت
the,
فيها لمدة
yeah, this is what you'll find in pretty much any Arabic video, which is that down here, where normally you would have the subtitles option, there is none. So this is really fantastic that you already have that, and it's definitely accurate because people have actually created these themselves. It's not that YouTube auto-generated the transcript or the subtitles based on what it heard, which is often wrong, especially for dialect videos. Instead, someone actually wrote this. So this is definitely accurate and correct. And that's really great. That's really nice to have something so reliable. So that's one thing. You can also turn on the English version. Yep, there you go. Okay, so now you can just watch the video. We don't want this.
عشت فيها لمدة 4 سنوات ولدت
Oh,
بسوريا
wait.
وعشت
Okay, there we go.
فيها لمدة 4 سنوات بعدين رحت على السعودية مع
So
أهلي
as he's speaking,
وعشت
you can
فيها
actually look
لمدة
at
طويلة بصراحة درست
literally
فيها جميع مراحل الدراسة.
and this is going to blow your mind. Check this out. If you actually hover over the Arabic words, look at what happens. There's a little tooltip for every single word telling you what it means. Look at this. All of, stages of schooling. So all education levels. See, this is actually useful because I just told you that the English subtitles, or the English sort of part of the transcript, is often not literal, or like it may not clarify what something is actually meaning. But this actually rectifies that, because if you actually hover, okay, so in English we might say all education levels, perhaps, but this word, it's not that it doesn't mean level, but it kind of doesn't mean level. It means like stages or phases, right? So this actually clarifies that. So that's actually really fantastic. So even if the English may not be, you might still have a question, this pretty much answers itself, right? So this is really amazing. Plus, the actual sort of highlight, or the little section that it's defining, is not the whole unit, but rather the sort of what we would call morphemes, I guess. So here you have diras or dirasilla, but you also have il. Just the section il has its own little definition as the article, of course. And likewise, fi is a preposition. You have a little definition for that. But you also have the ha. So instead of like, you might look at a word and think, oh, well, I've never seen that word before. But then you find out, well, actually, it's not that it's one word. It's like different sort of morphemes together, because it's like a suffix or a prefix or who knows what. And yeah, even like conjugated verbs, like this one, daras means to study. But it tells you that this means I studied, right? It's a particular form of that. So even if a word looks familiar, but you still don't know what it means, you can hover over it, and it might give you a clue about why it doesn't look like you expected it. Maybe it's conjugated in a certain way, or whatnot. So this is really fantastic. I cannot stress enough how amazing this is. And look, there's more. If you actually click on it, let's say this one. Yeah, this is a good word because it means all of something, but you might want to see how that's used in a sentence, although you kind of see it here. But let's say you want to know a little bit more. Well, just click on it. Boom. It shows you every single video on Playlink where that word is used. That is just, I cannot get over how useful and amazing this tool is. I wish I had discovered this like at the very beginning of my life. I don't know. So there's just so much you can do with this. Look, so here you have the word, and you can see the whole sentence, and then you can just go to the video and look at that.
يكون عندكم فكرة إنه تزوروا Subway
And you can actually just go to the video and start watching it, and then click again. Well, I don't even know what I did, but yeah, actually, I don't know why this looks slightly. Oh, you know why? Because, oh, I see. It opened. See, it opens like a little window within a window. So
يكون عندكم فكرة
it's just so I can watch that little section, but I can exit out and return to the video that I was just watching. So yeah, this is really amazing. I cannot stress it enough. I'm gonna, at this point, I mean, you probably don't need me to explain too much more because the rest is kind of self-explanatory. So yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that. Oh, and I'll just say it also marks which dialect it's in. So sometimes words are shared between dialects. This one surely is. So you can see, well, it's used in Fusha as well. So MSA is Fusha. Yeah, Maghrebi. So yeah, I'm gonna let you at this point just explore for yourself. But yeah, it's a really amazing resource. Please do use it, and do still. I mean, I'm still gonna make annotated transcripts because again, mine. I guess I just put a lot more sort of detail into it. So yeah, you can use them for different things. You can use this as just to get like a lot of just general content, I guess, like just quantity over well, the quality is very good as well. But yeah, so you can get a lot of quantity here, and I'm making transcripts, few of them, but you know, I do my videos of like an hour long video where I explain exactly what this word means and so on. So that's kind of what I do. So yeah, you can use all of these resources together. In fact, please do. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you hopefully next week from a new surprise undisclosed location that you will find out very soon. So I'll see you then.